Okay, hi everybody. I'm going to introduce myself first and then we'll talk to this person. Okay, so Rochelle Davis from The Crow, Little Sarah from The Crow. My name is Seaton Chang and I'm a content creator on not YouTube but Facebook. So I have like 2,600 followers and I have a lot of friends who are fans of Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee. And we are hardcore fans. In fact, I even know Linda and Shannon personally.
I've never met them actually.
Yeah.
Talked to Linda on email, but I've never met to meet them physically.
I've also met James O'Barr, Ernie Hudson, Bai Ling, and Jeff Imada, the choreographer.
I love Jeff Imada, yeah.
So now I have Rochelle Davis to add to my list of people that I've met who are related to The Crow. So I guess I should ask you, if you don't mind me saying, asking you, so how did you first meet Brandon?
Just like you normally do on set, you drive around, they kind of like show you where, makeup's gonna be, whatever. First time I met him, he was actually doing his makeup and I was driving by, and he was just so like friendly that before I even was like face to face in front of him, he was like, Rochelle, like screaming to my van that I was driving by, and like, I'm Brandon. I was like, nice to meet you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so how did you get the part of
just
Sarah?
Like, same as always, like anybody that does this kind of stuff. Like I had a management team that sent me out. I went out and auditioned for it. They asked me to come back and do it again. And usually you get about 3 to 4 callbacks before you're actually hired. So it took several months. Like it was like 4 or 5, maybe 6 months, like of them, spacing it out and bringing me back in. So I was auditioning for other things, but
so it was actually in around 1992 when you started. The summer of '92.
No, it was actually the winter. We started filming. I think they started filming in January or February. I got there the very beginning of March.
Okay.
No, end of February. Sorry, I got there at the end of February.
Yeah.
Middle of February. And then we filmed throughout until like March, passed. And
wow.
Then we were brought back.
Wild Blackbird is on now. Go see Wild Blackbird.
Okay.
It was like it should have been a 3-month film. It got stretched out to like the summer. But it actually was mostly filmed in like very cold weather.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and did you do any filming before of movies or TV shows before?
No, I had done a lot of like theater and stuff, drama classes. Like when I went to camp, I'd do the plays. So I just had been acting my whole life as a kid, and then I just told my grandmother like I wanted to do like real stuff.
Yeah.
And she thought she could kind of scare me away by bringing me. And I got the part, so.
And what was it like, what was Brandon like?
He was awesome. Like, I didn't know who he was until after, like, I had known him for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have pieced it together. I watched Bruce Lee stuff, but I didn't know that his name was Bruce Lee. I didn't know he was his son, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when I met him, he was just Brandon.
Yeah.
And he absolutely was tickled by that. Because most people just knew who he was and knew his father, and I didn't. So
He probably didn't talk about his dad very much because he wanted to be his own.
He did at first. Not at first. Not at first. At first, we just got to know each other. And that's why I said I didn't even know. He asked me, he was like, you don't know who I am? And I was like, no. So we just got to know each other. And then after maybe a month or so of like working together, he said to me, like, have you figured out who I am? And I was like, no. And he told me some stuff about his dad, but I didn't know who his dad was. And then my dad came to set. And he said to my dad, yeah, she doesn't know who my dad is. And he went, what? And he said, you know who he is. I watched his movies. And I was like, oh. And then I connected.
That's because you were so young.
When he talked to me about it, it was more of my dad, not this guy, this legend. So, it was nice. We got very close. He was a very sweet person.
Like, about how old were you then?
I was 12 and I turned 13 on set.
Yeah, so that's why you guys don't really know because you were so young.
Right. He was 27, turned 28 on set. So we both had our birthdays on set. His February, mine's June. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was kind of wild, but he was just such a kind-hearted person. He would always stick up for people. He always knew people's names, looked you in the eye, engaged with you. Like, he was just a really sweet guy. I taught him how to play Game Boy. So,
There's a photo. I saw that photo.
my Game Boy.
That's your Game Boy. Yeah. I read
yeah,
somewhere in the caption.
playing it, and he was like, what is that? And I was like, it's a little handheld Nintendo. And he's like, what? And I was like, here. And I walked over. I had finished getting my makeup done.
Yeah.
They didn't put much on it. It was like dark under the eye, whatever. So I went over to him and I showed him. I was like, this is Tetris. It's my favorite game. And he was like, oh. And his eyes lit up. And and I was like, here. I'm going to set to work. You still have like another hour or so or whatever in this chair to get your makeup done. Play the game. And so he did. He got into Tetris and he'd bring it over and he'd be like, I knocked out 30 lines. And I'd be like, I got your 30 lines. And then I would only beat just a little past 30 lines so that he could because I didn't want to show him up. I was really good at it. But we would just pass it back and forth and he'd be like, I got your 80 lines out. So I actually got a tattoo.
Really? Let me see. Tetris tattoo.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And that's the missing piece is him.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite games.
Because
too.
that became one of our just became something we
Yeah.
we were both very competitive. So it became fun and he loved to do practical joke type stuff. So being around him taught me how fun that can be, and after he was gone I kinda brought that legend with me in my life. I would play practical jokes at people. Fun stuff, nothing mean, but just to make people laugh. It's good to make people laugh.
Do you have a favorite story about him?
I have so many favorite stories. I think the one I tell the most usually when people ask me that, just because it's so fun, was when he was filming. He had to do a lot of dark, stuff, and so he had to get into that character. So it was the same as me, sad, and so when we did the flashback scenes, they were fun because it was before he passes away in the movie. So we're running around, and I was doing scenes with Sophia, banging each other with the pillows, having pillow fights, and all a little fun. So I got done and I was wrapped for the day, and he was coming, but I didn't realize. And I hear, and I'm like, I go to turn around because I realize it's him in his boots, going up the stairs to the loft. And I turn around and he just grabbed me and he scooped me up and he was spinning me in a circle. And he goes, I get to be alive today. I get to be alive today. And I go, that's awesome, Brandon. And he goes, look at it. I get to be in regular clothes, no makeup. And he was just, he was excited to be able to have fun.
Yeah.
First time as Eric, and I just, it made me so happy to see him be able to still embrace the role, but do it in a way that was really enjoyable.
Right.
It brought out the real Brandon.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people paint him in the makeup, and I'm like, but that's not Brandon. Brandon is, I don't know. It was cool.
Wow. Well, and how was the rapport between you and Ernie Hudson and Meiling and everybody?
I mean, Meiling didn't speak a lot of English, so I was always trying to be slow with her and speak to her so that she'd understand and learn stuff as well, because I know it's hard. I don't speak two languages. That's fucking hard, So she was really nice about everything, but she had trouble understanding. Sweet as heck. Sophia was nice. Ernie was dull. I mean, he's just absolutely. He almost seems not real because he's such a kind person. He's been in Hollywood his whole life. You'd expect him to be kind of a jerk, but no. Yeah. Tony, oh my god, I miss him so much. I have no idea. Tony was one of the sweetest people I ever worked with. And I got to work with some of the people I didn't even work with, David Patrick Kelly. I got to hang out with him on set, even though I wasn't working with him in any scenes.
Yeah.
And he was a freaking awesome guy. Everybody I met on set was just super. I was really I'm impressed that I got in this movie with these people because they're super talented.
Didn't you guys do a reunion 15 years ago in Florida or something?
I've done a couple reunions. I've done, I think, 2.
Because I always find out about the
3.
actors.
I'm sorry. One in Florida, one in New Jersey, and I did one in Kentucky.
Really?
There was 5 of us. It was James Mohr, Tony Todd, Ernie Hudson, me, and Bailey.
Bailing.
Yeah,
because I saw photos.
It's not Bailey.
Huh?
I thought it was Bailey.
I thought it was Bai.
I don't know. See, I have such a bad memory. I thought I asked her last time, and she said it was bad.
No, I could be wrong. It could be gay.
I think she was like, oh, just people say whatever they want. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I met
I
her
was
like.
trying to get people's names right if I can. It's like, you know.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, they were all so sweet.
her English is pretty good because I met her like.
It's just fabulous.
I met her like 2 or 3 times.
When I saw her at that event, I hadn't seen her since the Crow. So I was 30-something, you know, breasts now, that kind of thing. I
Yeah.
walked up to her, I had a corset on and, you know, the bust up and whatnot, and she thought I was like buying